Over 2,000 years ago, in a small town called Bethlehem, a child was born who would change the world forever. His name was Jesus. Mary and Joseph traveled from afar, seeking a place to stay. Finding no room in the inn, they took shelter in a humble stable. There, Jesus was born, wrapped in cloth, a child surrounded by wonder and reverence. Shepherds and kings came to honor him, guided by a bright star in the sky. Jesus grew up in Nazareth, learning the trade of a carpenter from Joseph. Even as a boy, his wisdom and humility were remarkable. He often spent time in the temple, discussing the teachings of God and astonishing the scholars with his understanding. At the age of 30, Jesus went to the Jordan River, where John the Baptist was preaching and baptizing people. Jesus asked to be baptized. As he emerged from the water, the heavens opened, and a voice said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." His ministry had begun. Jesus traveled through towns and villages, teaching about love, compassion, and forgiveness. He healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, and even calmed storms with just his words. Once, he fed 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Miracles followed him wherever he went, showing that God's power was with him. Jesus taught that the greatest commandment is to love. Love God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. He shared parables, simple stories, with profound lessons. The Good Samaritan, the prodigal son, and the lost sheep. His teachings were not just words. They were a guide for living a life of kindness and faith. Not everyone accepted Jesus' message. Religious leaders felt threatened by his teachings. One of his disciples, Judas, even betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. Yet Jesus faced these challenges with grace, knowing his purpose was greater than any obstacle. On the night before his death, Jesus shared a final meal with his disciples. He broke bread and shared wine, asking them to remember him and his love forever. This became known as the Last Supper, a symbol of sacrifice and hope. Jesus was arrested, tried, and sentenced to die on the cross. He carried the sins of humanity upon his shoulders, even forgiving those who condemned him. His death was painful, but it was the ultimate act of love and sacrifice. 3 days after his death, Jesus rose from the grave, victorious over sin and death. He appeared to his disciples, offering peace and hope. His resurrection became a beacon of faith, showing that love and goodness can never be defeated. The life of Jesus teaches us that even in the darkest times, love, compassion, and faith can guide our way. His teachings continue to inspire millions of people around the world. The life of Jesus Christ is truly an eternal lesson for humanity.